Good morning. Glad you made the trek with us this morning. Beautiful winter day, got lots of snow on the ground, and we're testing out the OneTigris Tegimen hot tent. Never tried this before, never even been out of this package, so we're going to see if it's something that we like, and you can decide if it's something that you'd like in your pack. Okay, so I've got the tent set up there. I showed you some of the procedure. I did have to mess with it a little bit. First time even taking the tent out, I had no idea how to set this up, but I have to say I'm pretty impressed. Took me about 20 minutes first time with me messing around, and I set it up a little bit differently than you normally would. As you can see there, I've got a strap fastening it to the tree, and on this side I've got a pole. So you could just set this up freestanding if you have two poles, use two sticks from the woods, whatever you want to do. You can also see on the top, there's also some loops there, so you can actually set up a ridge line and hang it that way. The zippers, so far I found really nice. YKK zippers, they work really well. And there's a dual zipper system here. There's one to open and close the door, and there's one that keeps your hammock. I believe it keeps the line for your hammock. You don't have to keep your door open. I noticed that all the corners here have extra material sewn in. It seemed pretty tough. And they even have a nice little bonus here, shock cord. Really, really nice idea there. So if the wind comes, this will help keep this thing stabilized. And it looks like the way it's set up here, if I wanted to get some sticks, I could, or poles, I could actually set up some poles here. I could guy out these poles and this thing would be super, super solid. Even like it is, it's pretty darn good. Also, you can see here, there's a bit of a snow skirt here. So if you got a lot of snow and a lot of wind coming in, you can cover up that skirt. All right, you can see here on this side, I've got my stove jack. There's one on the top here and one on the bottom, depending how your stove has the stove pipe on the side or the top. And here you can see it's open. It's got a nice little toggle here where I can just basically open this up. And this will just close up, Velcro closed, and seal out any wind. So yeah, I think it's pretty well thought out and seems to work pretty well. Wow, it's a palace in here. I got lots of room on the sides here. I'm just under 6 feet tall and just touching here a bit, but I can stand up. Probably if you had a ridge line here, you really tighten this up, you could. It's really impressed so far with the amount of room, relative ease of setup, and I can tell you it's blocking a lot of wind. So I think we're gonna get our gear loaded in here, zip this up, stay nice and warm, and cook a nice breakfast. It's time to get comfortable. Just a quick note, if you're enjoying this kind of content, camping, bushcrafting, winter camping, camp cooking, I've got all sorts of videos for you to enjoy. Why don't you consider subscribing to the channel? Therefore, you get notified next time a video comes out. Back to the show. Okay, my friends, I apologize. I seem to have more camera problems. I don't know what it is about the cold, but these cameras do not like it. I lost some footage where I chopped up this nice little breakfast here. I've got some red pepper, a little bit of onion, and I put a little bit of breakfast sausage in there as well. And we're just cooking it up. And man, I'm really enjoying hunkering down in here. It's really comfortable. Temperatures, it's not super cold outside, but there is a really cold breeze, so you don't want to stay out there very long. But in here, beautiful, really, really nice. I just got my high back OneTigris chair here and just enjoying the day. I tell you, this is a great way to spend some time here. Now I've got a story for you while this all cooks. This originally was supposed to be an overnighter on this past weekend, but there was a little bit of drama at my house, so I had to change plans. So what happened was, if your wife is anything like mine, seems to hear any little noise inside the house. So we've been married a number of years, and I guess after so many years of being woken up saying there's someone in the house, there's someone in the house, there's some noise, go check this out, go check that out, and there never being anything, thank God. Well, this time she heard a noise, she woke me up, and I immediately told her, go to bed, it's late, got stuff to do tomorrow, just go to bed, there's no noise. I sat there, waited about a couple minutes, didn't hear any more noise, so I said, going back to bed. So I went back to sleep, and everything was fine, or so we thought. So the next morning, I got up early because we had quite a bit of snow coming down. I was going to clean off the driveway, get my truck ready, do all that fun stuff. And well, as soon as I walked out the door, I saw at the bottom of my driveway there were 3 or 4 neighbors just looking at my house and pointing, and I'm like, oh boy, this can't be good, right? Well, so the one neighbor says, have you seen your car? And I said, oh no. So I go look, and my son's car is absolutely devastated. And it had moved about 5 feet from its original position, and the back end was crunched in, the back windshield was cracked, and nothing left of it really. I went around, and luckily I do have cameras, but it didn't catch the actual hit, but you can kind of see the aftermath and you can hear the sound. I'll roll it in here if I could. And yeah, this snowplow just came by about 4:35 in the morning and just absolutely devastated. Luckily it was in our driveway, and I guess he was plowing a little bit too tight, and my son's car was at the end of the driveway because we don't have a lot of room, and boom, he just absolutely leveled that poor car. So now my weekend was spent dealing with insurance, police, and all those fun things. So yeah, my plans got canceled, and instead I'm out here today, but I can laugh about it now. I wasn't laughing this weekend, let me tell you. Apparently the police told me that this happens all the time, and in my area here, it doesn't seem like we get the snow that we used to get, the same amount, but whenever there's a big snowstorm, they said there's all sorts of problems with this kind of thing. So it was an interesting weekend, to say the least. Hopefully this egg isn't frozen. I'm going to try to crack that in there. Not so easy one-handed. Oh, very graceful as usual. I got the job done. I'm just going to cook that up, scramble it a bit, and get this breakfast ready. Well, that's cooking up nicely. Looking real good. Love to add a little bit of cheddar cheese to that. What's your guys' take on it? American cheese or cheddar cheese? I'm more of a fan of the cheddar cheese myself. I just like the flavor. But that's ooey gooey American cheese. That's certainly has its place. Sometimes on a hamburger I like that. But for this breakfast, I'm going to melt this here cheddar. Got me some of these small tortilla shells. All right. All right. Look at that. Piping hot. Very delicious. That was a pretty easy breakfast. Yeah, it would have been nice to have a little bit of more seasoning in there, but I forgot it. I may do. It's still delicious. Very good. All right, I just brewed up a cup of coffee. I used my Vietnamese coffee maker. Don't know if you've ever used one of these, but basically this part here unscrews. You put the coffee in, pack it down, and then you just sort of let the coffee steep through it. Made coffee with it a couple times before, and it's been really, really good. So I'm going to try it again here. Oh, ditto. That's really good coffee. I really enjoy this one. Okay, so this is called the OneTigris Tegimen tent. It's made for a hammock. As you can see in the zippers here, your hammock straps go through here. Your hammock sits in the middle. You can have a hot stove down here, burning wood, keeping you toasty warm. It can be set up either by having a ridge line between trees or with poles. Folded size is 21 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches. And when it's set up like here, we're 12.5 feet long, 6.6 feet this way, and 6.2 high. I'm touching the top, so maybe it's just the way that I pitched the tent. Maybe I should have gone an inch or two higher, but it looks like it does go over 6 feet. So yeah, it's held up pretty well. I have had one of the pegs pull out, but we've had like gusts of wind today. So could have been just I didn't place the peg in properly. But other than that, it's held up really good. Had no problems at all, keeping me nice and warm. I've got a nice airflow. I've got the bottom of the doors unzippered just a little bit, letting some air through. So I cooked and I didn't have really any condensation in here. That's something I would like to see though, is maybe just some kind of flap somewhere that you can adjust and maybe let a little bit of airflow in. I know some tents have it right at the peak here where they have something overlapping, and then there's just a little bit of mesh up there just above the zipper. That would be ideal, but other than that, I'm not disappointed with this tent at all. All right, we're all packed up, but now I want to know, what is it that you think about the OneTigris Tegimen tent? So far, I'm quite impressed with it. It's pretty roomy, weighs in at about 7-ish pounds, and you know what? You could fit 3 people in there, possibly 4 if you want it to be tight. You could use it for hammock camping. You could set it up with poles. You could set up with sticks. You could set up a ridge line. All the stakes and all the guy lines are included, and the price for this is about $200 Canadian. Really impressed with it. So if you like this kind of video, why don't you give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel so you'll get notified when my next video comes out. Until then, take care, get outside, have fun, stay safe, my friends.